Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another round of Next Round Sports. Bit of a hiatus here, but we're back and ready to delve into the misery of what our teams have been doing here in this NFL season. Once again, this is Chris Porter here with Caleb Culver and Jeff Amos. Gentlemen, I'm not even going to ask how you're doing tonight because I already know how you're doing tonight. So good to see you.
Yeah.
Good to see you.
Good to see you. Been a while.
Please like and subscribe to all of our social media platforms, YouTube being one of them. That's where we're doing our main broadcast. And we'll go ahead and get right underway. Go ahead and get flush this turd already right off the bat. The Dallas Cowboys and the Denver Broncos actually get to watch this monstrosity up here, up in the Northeast.
Yeah.
This is what is expected. That's what it is. You go up against any team that is actually has an offense that has a pulse, and Bo Nix has been looking good this season. I mean, the way they came back on the Giants,
Dobbins got 100 yards and Franklin got like 50. So that run defense.
Broncos went the last game where they scored 35 points in the fourth quarter to beat the Giants, come back and beat the Giants, to then coming out and just manhandling the Cowboys, like completely manhandling. Interception. They did lose Patrick Surtain for a few weeks. I mean,
yes,
I saw the note on that. He'll be out for a while, but there was nothing that the Cowboys defense could do to stop Bo Nix at all. Bo Nix had his way. He looked like Drew Brees.
I'm going to go back to that. Honestly, I think I'm going to go back to that run defense, especially like right up the gut. When you're trying to bring people down, now granted, every safety shouldn't let anybody behind them, but it happens because they were trying to stack the box, I think, and try to stop the run, and Bo Nix just ate them up for lunch with Franklin and everybody else.
Even trying to stop the run, your boy J.K. Dobbins just had his way with him.
Right.
Yeah, like I said, 111 yards.
And R.J. Harvey on that 40-yard touchdown run, I don't think he was even touched.
No, yeah. Probably not. Yeah, I mean, this game was close-ish going into like the third quarter, but then after that, it was kind of got ripped. The Band-Aid got ripped off, for lack of a better term.
Dak started throwing the interceptions, and they were not like it was a tipped ball. These were bad interceptions.
It was. He just missed the guy in front of him.
And yes, he hasn't had an interception since the Chicago debacle, but just bad. Like there's no reason to look that bad as much as if you look that good for a while. It just shows again the type of quarterback that he is. That is why he's not going to win the Super Bowl for the Dallas Cowboys. It's a perpetual bus driver that, he can put up the stats. If he's on your fantasy team, you love to have him on there. He can carry to your fantasy championship, but he's not going to carry this team where they need to go. It's just he's not going to. That's what it is. That's why I accepted it 2 years ago. It is what it is.
Well, especially with this team, because this team has to play perfect on offense. Dak has to play perfect on offense because their defense is absolutely pathetic. And Dak was far from perfect yesterday. This was arguably his worst game of the year. Those interceptions were both horrible interceptions, and they cost them a chance of winning. But really, as we said, the main thing was a horrible defense. I mean, they have no secondary. They have no run defense. They have nothing.
They have nothing.
I mean,
and they're completely
wasting. Patriots just traded away Kevin White, who was a backup for a 6th-round pick. I forget exactly who they traded to, but they just traded him for a 6th-round pick. You're telling me the Cowboys could invest a 6th-round pick into a pretty good guy who become a rotational player on the Patriots?
I think this defense is far away from just a plug-in.
Oh, no, it's from one away. But, I mean, you could at least make it to where the Cowboys could be competitive if you bring in somebody. Because right now they're just not competitive because that defense. You got to score 40 points a game. and like you said, play perfect. I mean, when the Cowboys even got 8 penalties in the first half, like that's not going to cut it.
Speaking of trade, I read this in the Dallas Morning News, and Tim Kalishaw of Around the Horn fame in the Dallas Morning News suggested the idea of trading George Pickens away for maybe a first round pick. Would you do that?
Why not? Because right now they're wasting George Pickens and Javonte Williams, who both came in. I wasn't expecting from either one of them. I mean, George Pickens, I was like, I'm getting more than what I expected at him, and he's been a complete beast since when CeeDee Lamb went down. He's taken over. He's third in total yards up to this point. He's been fantastic, and he's had a level head about his shoulders. You hate to let the guy go, but I think you shop him. Why not? You're not going to go to the playoffs right now, so you might as well shop and see what you can get for him. If you can stack a couple of
I agree with you, but at the same time, this is Jerry Jones we're talking about. As long as his team is like even 50% chance of getting in, he doesn't want to do it. The problem is he's going to have to either open up that checkbook or just say, okay, that's wasted money.
And that's the problem. I'm trying to think of with a level head, not with Jerry Jones's,
that won't get you Cowboys management stuff.
I would trade him as much as I like him being there. I think he's been one of the bright spots of this team. When they got George Pickens, I was like, okay, I'll kick the tires. He kind of floundered away here in Pittsburgh. I was like, I'll kick the tires. Let's see what happens. He's reinvigorated himself, and he's showing why he could be. And hearing people, hearing commentators like, oh, he could be a number one anywhere. He already was a number one at Pittsburgh when they traded him away. Like, yes, he can be. He's a number one. He could be number one. He already was. Just football knows that. He's that good. And to have him with CeeDee Lamb makes him look even better because he's not getting the number one defensive backs all the time. And even when he did, he was still having his way with them.
Yeah.
At that same
time,
that
relationship and chemistry between him and Dak has been phenomenal so far.
It's been good. It's like they've played together forever, which is amazing. You don't find that very often. But at the same time, you're idiots if you don't at least shop him and see what you can get for him.
No, for sure.
See. If you don't like what's being offered, you don't have to pull the trigger. That's the thing. But shop him, see what you can get. But then again, like we said, it's Jerry Jones. He should have traded Micah Parsons back 2 years ago. Dak and CeeDee Lamb traded all of them and stockpiled the picks, as I said then, and you'd have then a young core all on rookie contracts that you could then maybe plug in a veteran to go for a small Super Bowl window. But what do I know?
Yeah. We'll have to see what the Cowboys do. I know that they're dangling Max Crosby for a couple weeks now, but I just don't see that happening.
That's not going to happen. Even then, okay, you take Max Crosby to have an injury history. Okay, you're just plugging another guy in. And that's the whole thing. If we talked about this, okay, if Micah Parsons was that big of a thing that this defense looks so bad, I don't think it's the whole thing. I think it's the loss of Micah Parsons and that Matt Eberflus doesn't know what he's doing. He's a complete moron when it comes to it. That's why he lost his job with the Bears. And he has to go. He has to go. He should not make it the whole season. He's going to make it the whole season, but he shouldn't. They never.
He should definitely go after that.
Terrible call. It was a terrible call bringing him in because his system does not fit here. The guys don't seem like they even care to play for him. There's no desire on the defensive side that at least you saw the last couple of years. I mean, you saw it going away after Dan Quinn left. After Dan Quinn left, you saw the defense didn't play with a fire like they did. And don't get me wrong, Dan Quinn hasn't won the Super Bowl over in Washington by any means. However, I think you ask any Cowboy fan, they would prefer Dan Quinn being the coach of this team over Schottenheimer any day.
Yeah.
Any day.
I can agree with that.
Oh, sure.
And that's, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, you have to keep in mind, though, that the defensive personnel for Dallas is is beyond subpar. I mean, what they were throwing out in the secondary at the end of that game.
Yeah.
Who were those dudes?
Injuries happen with that too. However, how many other players did they lose on defense besides Parsons when they traded him from last season? Not many. A lot of those starting guys, I know some of them are injured, but a lot of those starting guys have been with the team for multiple years. It's not like they forgot
Sam
how
Williams
to
there, Fowler's
football.
still there. So, I mean, a lot of that defensive line is still there.
Odighizuwa is still there.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of guys
Overshawn.
that have been that. Overshawn is back now. But, I mean, you didn't just lose Micah Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence, and now your entire team sucks. Like, that's not how it goes. These guys have played for a long time. They've been with these guys. It's not like they just, they lost half of their starting lineup and they had to bring in a whole bunch of other guys and try to piece it together. A lot of these guys have been on this team for a long time. They've played together. It's not like they forgot how to fucking play football. This goes back on your coach, on the coaching. That's what it's back on. That's who it leans on. And they made the mistake of hiring the wrong coach.
Or you can make the change just for the sake of change's sake, just because the defense has been so bad. I'm not necessarily in favor of that, but it can't get as bad as it's been. It was a miracle that Denver didn't drop 60 on Dallas on Sunday. The defense was that bad.
Oh, it was bad. I fully surprised they didn't drop 60 on them either.
And so that brings us to them playing Arizona on Monday night.
Yep. That could be a get-right game.
Yeah,
Cardinals
but
are atrocious.
Yeah, they've been in every single game that they're 2-5. They're 2-5.
Close.
But
I mean, if that Cowboys defense lives up to its current reputation, this could be a coin flip.
Kyler Murray's going to look like prime Tom Brady on Monday. Watch. It's going to happen.
Yep.
Kyler Murray's going to look amazing. And they're going to look great.
Staubach coming back.
Or will they stick with Jacoby Brissett? Because he's looked pretty good.
Jacoby Brissett, the wily veteran. They should just go with Brissett. At least he can see over the offensive line.
Yeah, but going back to the Cardinals, I mean, the biggest loss they've had is 4 points. That's it. And they've been in every single game this season.
Yeah.
I think,
yeah. So the good thing they got going for them, the Cowboys at least, is that the rushing leader for the Cardinals is Kyle Murray at 173. So as much as the run defense has been getting, there's not really a running back to fear.
They lost their top 2 starting running backs, though, to injury.
They have, but that's what I'm saying. Like right now, he's their number 1 guy.
It is. But Kyler Murray's also, that's been his MO. I mean, he was even when everybody's been healthy, he's been, the leading rusher, if not second leading rusher. I mean, it's happened multiple times. That's just and who they've decided to be with taking Kyler Murray. That's just what it is. But yeah, I still will pick Arizona to win. They've been close in every game. And honestly, this defense, they're a whip dog. They've got nothing to play for. They've got nothing to come out and show up for. They're a whip dog. Eberflus is not motivating them. He's not motivated anyone to come out and play hard. So if they come out, I mean, the Cowboys could come out and stomp a mud hole in them, but I just don't see it happening. If they come out and win, it'll be close. Arizona's trying to, do something this season as well too, and Brissett's playing for a new contract, as always, for the starting job, absolutely, but at least for a new contract. So he's going to come out and play his heart out. And if Brissett is out there, yeah, I can see them beating the Cowboys just because the defense is that putrid.
As much as I want to say that the Cardinals will win this game too, I think it goes back to what we're talking about, the lack of a running game. Both Trey Benson's on the IR and James Conner is out for the year. I really think that makes Arizona a one-dimensional team. I'll go ahead and say that the Cowboys win a very, very close game.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one, Jeff. I think this is going to be a very close game. Probably like a Brandon Aubrey field goal, maybe from 66.
Oh, by the way, that's another thing that makes me so mad about that Dak interception in the first half. If he didn't throw that interception, we could have had Brandon Aubrey break the record for the field goal.
Mm-hmm.
He could have kicked a 70-yard field goal.
That's what he would have done to try to bail it out, and he probably would have hit it because he's the crutch.
And they're in Denver.
That's the nickname, the crutch. Yeah. That's what they use him as. All right. Had enough of this bullshit. All right, we're going to take a break here. We'll be right back in just a moment. We'll be into the next round. And welcome back from the break as we're ready to dive into the next round where we'll have to talk next here about the Jets.
Mm-hmm.
The Jets, the 0-7 Jets, able to
get
their
away first win of the year.
Not join the Browns, Lions, and Tampa Bay Buccaneers with a fully defeated season, and able to pull out the
Jets just can't do anything right, man.
No, they can't.
But yeah, that was a crazy game, Jeff.
Jeff, we give you the floor.
So obviously the season is an inexcusable loss, and I'll say go ahead and put in the towel on this season. When you give up 39 points to the Jets, you have two separate occasions where you're up 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter and you blow the game. There's just no excuse
mighty
for
Joe
it.
Flacco leading
and you wasted a great performance. And
and he may be injured a little bit too.
This goes beyond season ending, though. I think this is a franchise-changing loss because you lose to the worst team in the league in the Jets. You'll have an NFL defense which takes years to rebuild. You've relied on rookies and inexperience the entire season, and you thought that was good enough in the offseason to work. You've drafted busts on the defensive side of the ball. You've had 9 top 100 picks that have frankly not panned out at all, with the exception of Logan Wilson, who you just benched in favor of a rookie that you drafted this season. And again, what makes this even worse is if Joe Burrow was in the game, who the hell cares? You put up 38 points. You put up 38 fucking points against the Jets. 38 points should win the game. And you had and for the first time all time this year, you finally had a running game where you averaged 7.9 yards per carry. P. Ryan had a great game. Chase Brown had a great game, and you wasted that performance. And I think you have one of the worst coaching staffs in the league as well. I think particularly at the end of the game when it was 2nd and 9, or it was 2nd and 10, and you run the ball.
Yeah.
How do you run the ball when you're trying to come back and win a game? And then that just wasted a play, wasted a timeout. And then on 3rd down, Flacco was pressured, had to throw the ball away. And then the final play was a pass that would have been short of the first down line marker anyway.
Yeah, those play calling on that last drive were absolutely atrocious.
And
like even the 3rd down afterward, it looked like they were trying to go for a home run hit instead of just, oh, hey, let's get the first down. You need a field goal to win this game.
Lou Anarumo was deemed to be the scapegoat We fired the defensive coordinator. He was the problem. Clearly, he wasn't the problem. And somehow they're even worse than they were last season. And you're going to have 3 straight seasons of not making the playoffs and 3 wasted seasons in a row of Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and T. Higgins. Now, Joe Burrow's missed a bunch of those first. He's going to miss a bunch of this year, and he missed a lot of 2023. But again, you're just wasting franchise talent that you paid a whole hell of a lot of money for. And now, look, I know it's not Zach Taylor's forte on the defensive side of the ball. He'd tell you he's the offensive guy. But at some point, the buck stops somewhere. He's the head coach of this team. He's got to figure out something on this defense. Just because you call the plays and your offense first, responsibility still falls on you too to make some sort of cure for the defense. Defense had a players-only meeting on Monday after the game. I'm not sure exactly what that's going to do, considering they're simply not good enough at this point. They don't have the experience. They frankly don't have the talent. And it's going to be a very, very long season where you're going to, I think, get some great offensive performances and but still come up short. And we talked about
basically Cowboys 2.0.
Right. And we talked about how the Cowboys had to play perfect to win games like this. The Bengals played perfect on offense, and yet you still lost to the worst team in the league. You gave up 505 yards, including 254 on the ground. Also, another stat on this Bengal team, just to give you an idea of how horrible the defense is. 81 missed tackles on the year. The second worst is 56 by Washington.
Wow.
Yep.
That's how horrible this defense is. This defense is last in every single meaningful category this season. And so it's going to get worse before it gets better. And you had you're against obviously, as I said, ad nauseum, one of the worst teams in the league. You were against literally the worst offensive line in the league, and you had no sacks and 1 quarterback hit, which was from your corner, by the way, Cam Taylor-Britt. The Bengals had no pass rush whatsoever. And then what was icing on the cake is the last touchdown they give up is a halfback pass by Breece Hall for a touchdown. So,
yep.
I am so done.
Yeah, I honestly think this could be definitely throw in the towel type of loss. I mean, you were hoping to just stay afloat till Burrow got in there, but I mean, like you said, you got 38 points from Flacco. What's the difference between Burrow and Flacco right now? As far as the greatness and offensive total points that you can put up in a game, and that defense is just going to
throw it up to number 1. I could go out there and throw it up to Jamar Chase, and he'd make me look like
they did it in the first half pretty well, but that second half, the Jets kind of walled him off.
Yeah, and they walled off T. Higgins with the exception of that 1 touchdown, because T. Higgins only had 1 catch, but. Let's not be mistaken.
Better than Quentin Johnson for my fantasy team with his no-show.
But it's just depressing even to look to next week. I mean, could the Bengals win? They had the Bears at home. The Bears just came off, and we'll touch on this game here shortly, losing to the Ravens 30-16 in a pretty terrible performance by Caleb Williams. I don't see how you can pick the Bengals to win any game at this point.
Because Swift had looked pretty good. I mean, granted, we'll get into it more in the Ravens game, but the Bears, like who they beat before they got to the Ravens, wasn't necessarily noteworthy on the defensive side of the ball by any means, or offensive side of the ball.
Dallas being one of them.
Yeah. So, I mean, same time, this could be a get-right game as far as their offense goes. So it's going to be a shootout, and that's just going to be the year the Bengals are going to have.
Yeah.
The one thing you got is that, you do have Flacco back there, which don't hate on the old guy. Hey, he's got experience.
Yeah, props to him. He's doing it.
And he's doing his thing. So I think, on the season, there's not a lot of hope there, but in every game, I still think you have a chance, at least a chance with Flacco still there, as long as he stays healthy. If he gets injured, you go back to Browning. Yeah, I think you're cooked. But if you've got Flacco, I think you still have a chance at that time.
Yeah, I mean, you still have the chance to be competitive in games. Ultimately, it's just.
I do have to say, a lot of the Jet fans are pissed though about the win.
Oh, for draft purposes.
Yes, it's draft purposes. They're like typical Jets. You're gonna lose out on the number 1 draft pick because you have to win some dumb
Like I said, they can't do everything right. They can't do anything right.
But all right, I guess we'll go ahead and take
the Jets currently have the 2nd pick in the draft.
Well, once again, screwed up their draft pick. I had the number 1 right before that.
Yes.
There's still time for their season.
Jets will find any way to ruin anything. That's why I can't let my children be fans of them.
Yep.
And speaking of the Jets, have you all? I'm sure everybody's seen it. The Jets kid that's now going viral of how he hates the team.
No, I haven't seen him yet.
Okay, so there's a viral video going out. It's been sent around, and it is the epitome of being a Jets fan. The kid comes up and they ask him after the game, "Hey, what'd you think about the game?" And he goes, "I hate this team. I was born into this. I'll always be a Jets fan. That's just who I am. They'll always be my team, but I hate this team." And he walks out. And in his eyes, he had the trauma of someone who's been through, a very traumatic, like he had PTSD from this team is what he did. And like my wife's family, a lot of them are Jets fans. They are Giant fans and some Eagle fans mixed in there too. But a good majority of them are Jet fans. And they all agree. They're like, wow, he looks like he's been through a couple tours. Like he's seen some things. And this kid just being born to a Jets fandom. And it's something I'm trying to keep my boys from. Although Cowboys fandom isn't too much better.
Not right now, at least, for sure.
No.
But we'll go ahead.
How old was the kid?
Oh, he was like 16, 17.
Oh.
Yeah.
He can't even remember Sanchez. He can't even remember the butt fumble.
No, the butt fumble. I remember watching the butt fumble live. It was
great.
Game. Right after Cowboys Thanksgiving game that was at. Anyway, it's a story for another time. We'll go ahead and take a quick break right here. We'll be right back here for the next round. And welcome back from the break as we're ready to get into the last round as we'll send it over to Caleb here for the Baltimore Ravens. They're getting that win there against the Bears. The
Bears, yeah. The Ravens, the only team of ours of the week to get a win, 30-16. And some people are commenting like, yeah, this game means the Ravens are back. Like they're gonna turn this around and do great things, win the division.
Tyler Huntley, he back, man.
Yeah, Tyler Huntley, the savior. Tyler Huntley, man. But yeah, I mean, welcome back, Tyler Huntley. He's definitely fits our system better, which is to be expected in all honesty. Cooper Rush.
He's been there 8 different times. He leaves and comes back.
He was a little bit of Josh Johnson. Yes, you're right. But I mean, that being said, like Cooper Rush, I still think is a good backup. but he needs an O-line, and our O-line is so bad you need somebody to move. Otherwise, it's just going to get killed all the time.
Rush doesn't move.
Rush doesn't move. So I think Hundley is definitely a better fit for our scheme, but I think Cooper Rush is a good backup QB and could be good for somebody out there. But that being said, this to me, it's a win, and you held the Bears came in with a 4-game winning streak, and they're talking about how Swift is doing amazing. But I mean, you look back at the teams they beat, the Saints, injured Commanders team that they barely came away with, Raiders, Cowboys. I mean, the last good team they played was the Lions, and they blew them out 52-21. So, I mean, to me, the Bears are not this great offensive weapon. We saw, as we like to harp, Caleb Williams being a bust. We saw his mistakes over and over again with the accuracy, being sped up.
He's been so up and down this year. Like, he's not been consistent. When he's been good, he's been good. But he's been really bad.
He's been okay, yeah. But, yeah. So, I mean, to me, as far as the defense goes, I think this was a little bit of an overreach. To me, the Rams game was a much better one overall, actually holding that team down. Granted, that's without Puka Nacua for the game. And you can go back and say, well, the Rams scored 5 touchdowns the next game without Puka still. But, yeah, when you have time to prepare for somebody being down, that's different than just, we're down this guy all of a sudden. Mm-hmm. So at the same time, I don't think our defense is necessarily fixed. It does look better getting healthier. Roquan Smith, he was going to come out for this game, so he had a good game going to his old team.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so hopefully that holds up because he wasn't necessarily great before that. So we'll see how that goes. Kyle Van Noy coming back helps, gets some actual pass rush going again. Getting 2 sacks too helps. Getting some pressure. He got some takeaways. Nate Wiggins with a great interception. I thought he played fairly decent coverage overall. Nate Wiggins anyway. This game, Humphrey was still a little out to lunch on some plays. It's like, what are you doing? But not bad overall. So I mean, the defense could potentially be average-ish, which is not something I ever want to say as a Ravens fan. We want that number 1 defense, give or take. So a little spoiled there, but yeah. Offense, though, I think much better. Lamar is supposed to be back for Thursday, so the Tyler Huntley story may be done.
Back.
Yeah, he's already practiced in full and everything, and the Ravens got a little slap on the wrist for putting Lamar as questionable, which apparently he only practiced with the practice squad, so he should not have been listed as questionable.
That's what I was saying. Is he truly be back?
He's practicing with the first team, so I mean he's there, and I think getting Patrick Ricard back helps as well. Although Falele's still not looking great. Voorhees to me is getting better, and Falele, for as much as I rag on him, he's getting a little better, but he's not an NFL quality guard in my opinion overall. So I'm counting the days for Emory Jones. I'm hoping we make a trade somewhere for an offensive line. I'm going to go back to that Cowboys or the Patriots trade for White, giving up just a 6th round pick. I mean, that's all it could have taken to get somebody who could have played inside, outside flexibility, which the Ravens freaking love. Are you telling me you didn't even try to call around or something at least? But maybe the asking price was higher because who was going to for the Ravens in that case. But that being said, much better offensive showing. Overall, great by Derrick Henry as well. I still wish they would use him more. I don't know if they're just saving him because the offensive line's so bad, or they're a little down on him. Granted, he had a decent number of touches, but at the same time, he's just gone for stretches. And it's like Keon Mitchell, Justice Hill are all of a sudden in running the ball. It's like, why isn't Derrick Henry in there? I don't know. He's kind of the back that you need somebody to be bruised against and rush against and run down the defense on. Not have all of a sudden, okay, we can kind of let up some of this and go handle the edge type of thing or whatever the case may be.
That's been him in his career, though, but he's long in the tooth now.
And he's long in the tooth. But he had 21 carries. Like I said, he had decent, but I would much rather prefer somewhere around 26, 30.
I understand that exactly, especially when you've had with Lamar Jackson being out and needing to get the offensive momentum going. I understand that, and as with being a Baltimore fan that you are, that's what you expect is, hey, why aren't we using the tools that we have? But I think they are saving him. Hoping for Lamar Jackson coming back. Hey, don't beat him up now at this time where everyone's going to, like, every time if Lamar Jackson's not in the game, they're going to stack the box and key on Derrick Henry. That's what they're going to do.
They will.
And okay, Derrick Henry 5 years ago, bowling ball. You wouldn't have had to worry about it. That's what Tennessee did. Just give it to Derrick Henry and just see what happens. It's going to be fine.
And I'd argue the O-line was better than Tennessee did too. So,
and at this point in his career, even though he's still better than a lot of the other running backs out there, just because of his God-given physique
and work ethic,
still older, and he needs to be maintained. So I think they're doing the right thing and maintaining him right now, and run Justice Hill, run these other guys. Use him when you need him, and that way you have him later on. Because I mean, they're still managing him for if we make a run when Lamar comes back, and we're able to make a run for the playoffs with this win against Chicago, gave them hope to do. Then you're going to need a healthy Derrick Henry. You're going to need him. You're going to need him.
You need him on the playoffs.
If not, you've got one more season, one more good, legitimate season with Derrick Henry, I believe. And
that could be argued, yes.
If you don't, if this season, if it's either what, they're saving him for, if we start, getting some wins stacked up that we can make a push this year, then we have him healthy and ready to go. Or let's keep the tread on the tires here for one more year, and then we have healthy Lamar, healthy Derrick Henry to make that last push next season.
Potentially. Now, you're going to have to upgrade that offensive line for sure.
Well, absolutely.
But at the defensive line too, but
you're not going to do it this season though. So I understand if they're gonna keep the braces on, like, when you're bowling with the kids and they put the brace up, you're going to keep the braces up on Derrick Henry now. I understand why. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
There's no reason to go out there and just throw him out and run him left and right unless you had his rookie contract and he was 5 years younger. Now he can still go in there and barrel through for 200 yards and get you, 3 touchdowns and get you a game winning, win the game for you. But there's no reason to do that at this point in the season.
I think it's a valid argument and point. But like I said, to me, I don't know. It just seems like we go away from him, which gives me eerie playoff vibes against the Chiefs a couple of years ago, where it's like, why are we not running the ball the second half?
I'm just playing devil's advocate. That's all I'm doing.
I'm not disagreeing with you. Like I said, it's just I'm curious about
why they're not used.
I don't know if it's. I mean, it's a very valid reason why they could be doing it that way. And like I said, the offensive line sucks, so maybe you're saving him more because they do suck so much, and you're hoping to improve that to keep more of that tires and tread on.
Let those other running backs get take the abuse, especially if you're already winning.
And Mitchell had a good game. He had a couple of good breakoffs and ran. So
those guys need experience too, because Derrick Henry's not the future at running back. You've got maybe one more year left with him. I think one more year, maybe
one, maybe two if you're stretching it. But it's going to be
You're happy about that. Mm-hmm. But that he's already pushed further than most running backs do, and he's still being successful at that point.
Well,
just because of his
let's get off Derrick Henry for just a second though, because I do want to bring up a couple other things about him. But the one thing too with Derrick Henry is I am glad they gave him that last rushing touchdown in the fourth quarter, excuse me, just for his confidence, because he hadn't been on the field for like a quarter, and he got shoved and stuffed up in the middle and then kind of ran it back out. So I mean, good for his confidence. I'm glad they kept him in. I said it right before. I was like, Harbaugh, please put him in. But yeah, like you said, Derrick Henry is definitely long in the tooth, but he had an okay game. Like I said, just interested on the game plan to me. And that being said, too, I am a little upset some more with the play calling in that fourth quarter because about the 3 minutes and 30 seconds left, all of a sudden we're playing not to lose. Like we're playing to just hold on to the lead. Like that's not the time. Like I understand we want to have the Bears run their timeouts and everything, but matriculate the ball down the field, as the great old Chiefs coach used to say. I mean, this is not the time to play safe. Once you kind of take yourself out of the game, and heaven forbid the Chicago came back, you can't turn that switch back on. So I don't understand. To me, it was a little early for that again. So poo on Harbaugh and Monken for that one to me. But end of the day, I mean, it took a horrible offensive pass interference by DeAndre Hopkins to keep the Ravens in this game and make it actually a 2-score game again. So, I mean, I was just like, I don't understand the play calling here. But yeah, that should have been offensive pass interference on Hopkins. But as Jeff likes to say, when the Bengals get calls their way, one for the good.
Should have been one of the two. Like it was a foul on him. It was a pass or pass interference. Either one should have been called, but none of it was called. That was kind of crazy.
Yeah, it was a little interesting that none of that was called. It's almost like the Chiefs were playing, but nah. Jokes aside,
and that's on 3rd and 7.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, 3rd and 8, I think. But yeah, like I said, I mean, they don't have any business like all of a sudden winning that game because of a pass interference play. And to me, just again, it's like, why are we playing not to lose? We need to play to win the game. But we'll get into coaches here in a sec because I do have my list for coach replacements since we have been a little bit of hiatus since we discussed possible coaching replaces. So I do have a list going on there.
Interessante.
So coming up, I mean, the Ravens could potentially be 7-5 by the time they finish the Bengals if they happen to run these straight wins off.
Which I think they easily could.
You could. I mean, you got the Dolphins, the Vikings with all their injuries going on right now, the Browns, the Jets, the Bengals. These are all very winnable games. So, I mean, you could all of a sudden be 7-5 going against the Steelers. So, I mean,
who are very beatable.
Yeah, and lost again this week. So, I mean,
lost
gap's
Green
closing.
Bay.
Yeah, thanks to the Bengals, Jeff, and Flacco keeping that gap close enough for us. Because I mean, oh my goodness. So I mean, I kind of like it, but I hate it at the same time. Because I kind of want at least one of our coaches to be fired, in particular Zach Orr. The defense coordinator I think needs to go, and I want Harbaugh gone as well, as we know. But I mean, if you're all of a sudden 7-5, like you've turned the season around.
Yep, and that's not
good.
But
yeah, but then also, I mean, you get to actually start playing good teams after that. I'm not talking about the Steelers or Patriots or Packers at the end of the season. I'm talking about if you happen to get into the playoffs and all of a sudden your draft pick is now fucking high.
Well, still Steelers, Patriots, and Packers are all division leading teams.
They are. Like I said, I mean, the Steelers don't really scare me. Patriots could be an interesting one. Green Bay could always be a good one. So, I mean, I think we're going to see more of the actual metal once you get there.
Right now, Green Bay is the number 1 seed in the NFC.
They are. That's what I'm saying. Like, it could be interesting when you get down there. But, I mean, like I said, you could be 7-5 by the time you finish with the Bengals in week, was that 6 or 7, excuse me? No, that'd be week 8, isn't it? No, I am way back off. Sorry, I'm just going to stop counting because I was only a math minor. Way down there when the Bengals play. But yeah, so overall, I mean, this could be really interesting. But I don't see us doing well in the playoffs. We got to face somebody who has like an actual defense coming up, which we're not going to come up against until we potentially face the Patriots back on December 21st. So, I mean, you could get in the playoffs by default, not less how bad the AFC North is. I mean, was it 9-8 could get you the division this year?
Sure.
It's potential. So we'll see how it goes.
Who are your coaches?
Yes, the coaches. Well, I'm going to start at the bottom and go to the top. So I'm going to start at the offensive line because I think that coach needs to be fired as well, George Warhop. And the one I really like on that is Chris Strausser. Who's currently with Washington, I believe, if I remember looking up that right. So, I mean, to me, he would be a good replacement. Aaron Kromer from the Buffalo Bills could be interesting as well. But those are just a couple options.
Are you just talking about Baltimore coaches you want replaced?
Oh, I thought just Harbaugh.
Oh, yeah. I've got a defensive coordinator list. I've got an O-line coach, and I have Harbaugh. Like I said, I'm running through these as quickly as I can to get to Harbaugh.
Baltimore. We thought you were talking like head coaching, like changes like throughout the whole league.
Yeah, that too. I'll skip to that if you want to freaking talk about that first.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, fine.
Because I can tell you right now that no one listening gives two rats' asses about the assistant
That's why I was
coaches.
trying to go quick, and you're slowing my ass down. That's your
No
fault.
one's slowing you down. No
That's
one's
your
slowing
fault.
you down. No, you let us
All
up
right,
to
whatever.
this
Don't put that
big
curse on me, Ricky
release,
Bobby.
and then you're
But
like,
anyway, here's the coaches. Here's the
defense
coaches.
coordinator. Well, let me talk about the
So
offense.
Robert
the
Saleh
offensive
would be
line
one.
coach. Let's do that.
Joe Brady and Cliff Kingsbury
Wow.
are some of the ones I kind of want to see interesting.
Ooh. You want Cliff Kingsbury as Baltimore's head coach?
I would be interesting to see Cliff Kingsbury because I think he could be an interesting offensive mind to come in there. Like I said, at that point, Zach Orr definitely needs to go for defense coordinator. I mean, maybe bring Matt Patricia in there, who's doing wonders at Ohio State right now with that defense.
Now, he failed in Detroit.
He did fail in Detroit.
As the head coach.
Yeah.
As defense coordinator.
I think Saleh right now is a big one. Brian Flores, I wouldn't necessarily mind either. Current Vikings defensive coordinator. I think Lamar could be that bridge to the
he's figured out the tush push.
Yeah, until he injured his quarterback. Oh, that's not his. No, he's the defensive coordinator. But yeah, he supposedly figured it out. But yeah, I mean, Saleh's probably top of my list just because defense.
Head coach.
Yeah, I think. Honestly, I thought he did an okay job with the Jets. I'm not gonna lie. I just think the players weren't there, and Aaron Rodgers going down kind of fucked him. So I think Saleh could be an interesting. I mean, the Jets were in the top 5 while he was there, and now look at that Jets defense.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, the 49ers defense.
If you're Joe Brady, you know he was offensive coordinator at LSU with Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow and Justin Jefferson and all of that. Yeah, there's been talks about
more to see him honestly as your head coach. It'd be more interesting, in all honesty.
Who would you rather have? I mean, where would you rather go if you're Joe Brady? Would you rather go to the Bengals, the Ravens, or the LSU job?
Honestly, I'd say LSU job.
Yeah,
because I feel like you can get your feet wet in it. It's not necessarily as media heavy. You're gonna have like a couple markets.
As give a fake Southern accent, is welcoming. Like the minute Brian Kelly did that, I knew his tenure was already over before it started. Couldn't happen to it better again. I'm so glad he's not there anymore. Now I can root for LSU again.
Right. Same.
I don't feel bad. Feel bad pulling for LSU now.
But yeah. But I'd say Saleh and Kingsbury, if you're going to go defensive, offensive, are my probably top 2.
Okay. And for this game on Thursday, we do anticipate a victory in Lamar's return?
With Lamar's return, Patrick Ricard's still there. Yeah, I think they should beat the Dolphins. Dolphins is another team kind of like the Jets you should beat. Sorry to rub it in, Joe.
Yes.
But these are just teams you should beat. So I think they'll beat the Dolphins for sure. And I think it'll be about a two score game by the end of it. But they could all of a sudden fall back on their ways like, oh, yeah, we had a great game. We've done enough. And just go back to what they were before the bye.
So for both of you, Dolphins continue going like they're going the rest of the season. Mike McDaniel is gone. Your thoughts?
Yes, and absolutely. And honestly, I thought
I figured obviously he'd be fired here in a week or two.
I thought he was going to get fired after the Cleveland Browns game when they lost 31-6 on the road, but somehow he survived, and then they killed the Falcons this weekend.
Yeah, that's a surprise win for them, but
surprising. Tua actually had a good game.
Yeah,
but yeah, I think the writing is on the wall for Mike McDaniel, and I don't think we'll ever see him be another head coach in the league again. Offensive coordinator,
I'm not even sure. Yeah, I'm not even sure he'd be an offensive coordinator for a couple years. Like he might have to go to college to get an OC job.
Wow.
I think the faith in him is just shook, and he's been kind of that little weird guy. I mean, people don't want to bring in the guy that's necessarily weird and different at the same time. And it could be their loss, but I just think it's going to be a couple of years before he comes back to the NFL once he's fired.
Maybe get like Oregon.
Yeah, he could. So I think he could be a decent OC, but definitely not a head coach. He doesn't know how to run the locker room, and it's been proven.
Right.
But he can manage a game.
All right. Well, I think that's about. Oh, we went a little bit deeper there than I thought we were going to go. I didn't know we were going to go into
Yeah, we had the coaching matrix.
Hey, you know what? Sometimes that's just where the conversation leads. So I'd like to thank everyone for joining us here this week. We're glad you came out. Check us out. Once again, this is Chris Porter here with Caleb Culver and Jeff Amos. I'd like to thank everyone for joining us. We'll see you again here next week. And please follow us on all social media, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Follow us. Let us know what you're thinking. And we'll go from there. And I'd like to see you all at the next round. Cheers.
Cheers, sir.